And he said he predicts the value of the Steam machine is going to cost $700. While he says it does offer a compelling value at that price, meaning the power for that price, it's definitely they're giving you $700 worth of tech. It's not overpriced.
Then what are you PlayStation fanboys complaining about? I find it so ironic that the same people complaining about the price of the Steam machine are the same ones that went out there and picked up the PS5 Pro for the same exact price. And now all of a sudden you got a problem with it. And what's even more crazy, you could do far more on the Steam machine, which is also a full-fledged PC, than you could ever do on a restrictive game console. So what are you people blabbering about? Because at the end of the day, if it is priced at $700, that is still quite reasonable. Because you could do far more with that than you could ever do with a gaming console. And at the end of the day, consoles will be going up to thousands of dollars, and you people will be picking them up and playing them. These are the same dudes that talk about, well, the Steam machine is so expensive, but they paid $1,000 for their PS5 on launch day because they had to buy one from a scalper. And y'all want to act like y'all have the audacity to complain about what people want in regards to the gaming market. What it really is that you PlayStation fanboys are intimidated and you are afraid at the concept that if more boxes like this come out and more affordable options do, then that would be less and less of a reason for why people would want a PlayStation. That's all this ever is. You're doing the same thing with Xbox, with the whole hybrid between PC and console gaming. You guys, the PlayStation fanboys, are truly afraid of this. Don't get it twisted. They are truly afraid of that vision, because when gaming, or should I say the traditional console, goes through that form of factor in regards to how we access video games, that's going to be less and less of a reason as to why people would pick up a PlayStation, especially when you got boxes like this that will offer the same type of games that you, and then some, than whatever you'll get on PlayStation, because you have the freedom to do what you want, as well as having free online multiplayer. That is what PlayStation fanboys are afraid about. They won't sit there and tell you guys that, but we all know the truth, and we all can see the writing on the wall. Gamester with another W.
It's exactly priced. But he's saying, I wish it was priced like a game console, because who wouldn't want an affordable PC? Now, there's two caveats to this. There's two things that are going to, no matter what, I do think the Steam machine is going to be more expensive than we like. And there's two reasons for that.
And the PlayStation 6 and the new Xbox will be more expensive than we would like. It's going to be $1,000 and up. It is what it is, man. Hopefully you guys have kept your place. Go buy your PlayStation 5s right now on Black Friday, because I'm sitting there telling you, the next generation of gaming, those boxes will be $1,000 and up. And if you people are complaining about this new box that's priced at $700, well, then I don't think you guys are ready for next generation.
And of course, it's not subsidized. Typically, when you buy a game console, when you buy a PlayStation or a Nintendo Switch,
here we go.
They're trying to price it as low as possible. They will take a loss. Sony sells you a PlayStation for literally the lowest cost they possibly can, because they want to get you into the ecosystem. They want to get you addicted to buying games on PlayStation.
Gamester with another W. Didn't I tell you guys? So you went as far to say that PlayStation is losing money on every single console that's sold. So even if you use the argument that we have 80 million consoles, even though it's shipped, not sold, it still doesn't matter, because where the vast majority of PlayStation money is coming from is through, like you said, games and live service. It's really just PlayStation Plus, just to play Call of Duty and NBA 2K online. That's really where most of the PlayStation money is going to. But besides that, when it comes down to games, we already know it can't be PlayStation, because you guys take 5 to 6 years to even make a remake, for crying out loud. During that time, you would be making no money. Sony just said, you know what? Let's build off the third party. Just let these dudes act like we got exclusive games pumping out for them. They'll make them wait 6 to 7 years for these titles, while we just keep hustling the audience for that NBA 2K and that Fortnite microtransaction money. That's all that's going on here. So when you guys want to sit there and talk about console wars, at the end of the day, the vast majority disagrees with your notion. They don't pick up a PS5 for that. Time and time again, we see the results.
PlayStation Store, that 30% cut they take, they're fine. No matter if you're buying first party or third party, it's just about buying games on your PS5. Whereas the Steam machine, because this is technically a PC, they're not pricing it like a console. They're not trying to
They don't
pay
need to.
up front. They're not trying to basically rip themselves
And they
off.
also don't need to sell you a subscription service to play your favorite games either. See, that's something that y'all not taking into consideration. You guys keep saying that this Steam machine, well, we still don't know what the price is, but even if it is priced at $700, you're still saying that it's expensive, but at the end of the day, it's marketed as essentially a gaming console as well as a PC, which to most people will be the best of both worlds. What is the problem with it? I feel like you fanboys are just threatened by the idea of these type of, like I've said before, of these type of boxes existing within our console gaming landscape to the point where people say, you know what, I'm done with consoles. I'd rather pick up something like this and have the freedom and the options to do what I want while also having the benefits of free online multiplayer. That is, I'm telling you, this is what we be told. Oh, no, air boxes that keep saying that because that's exactly what the new Xbox is going to do. And how is Sony going to be able to compete with something like that? Go ahead. At this point, PlayStation would just be the Apple of gaming. Okay, you get games, 25-year-old remakes from Xbox. You have to wait, no benefits. You're paying for these games online. I mean, you're going to be paying to play these Xbox games online, while Xbox gamers are going to have to just pay for Game Pass Ultimate or just pay for the game directly, no matter which ecosystem they want to use. Let it be Steam or the Xbox OS. You guys don't want to see this, but hey, man, at the end of the day, man, never go full pony.
To give you a better opportunity, because a lot of people buying this may only play emulators. Some people may just use it as a media box and put like Plex on it. There is a certain amount of people that buy a Steam machine that never buy a Steam game. And the other part,
oh yeah, just like a lot of people buy a PlayStation 5 but never buy a PlayStation. Oh, was I supposed to say that? Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
This is, of course, the terrible shortage of RAM. In fact, the top comment here says, this is still a buy for me. Everybody is demanding this thing be $500 bucks, is dangerously unaware of what's happening in the computer hardware market right now. So there is a worldwide shortage of RAM. I've talked about this in other videos. Honestly, I think this is incredibly stupid. I'm hoping it's temporary, but right now...
It's not, because Microsoft is pushing for that AI technology, which is only going to boost up the price of RAM, which is only going to boost up the price of consoles altogether. It seems like Microsoft is doing this on purpose. It's like a double whammy because they want to push for the AI while it's also trying to outprice Sony to make your platform don't look as competitive as the other brand. Because Microsoft knows the more and more PlayStation is the same, the more and more they can control the market. You guys try to use exclusivity, but they notice that exclusivity is not working for y'all. You can use Nintendo as an argument all you want, but at the end of the day, they've always been known for buying Nintendo products for Nintendo games, not PlayStation. You ain't no different than Xbox. Your consumer base is very similar to the PC gaming market. You guys all play the same games. If Counter-Strike was on console, it'd probably be the most popular game. Have you noticed Xbox and PlayStation have all became very PC-centric consoles? The games that you like on it are PC. Y'all like, what do you mean games? So explain. See, that's why people love me. This is why people support the channel. I'm going to explain it again. Battlefield 6 is a PC type of game. Call of Duty is a PC type of game. Arc Raiders, which is very popular on console, is a PC type of game. Ark Survival, Rust. These are very PC-centric games. Okay? Y'all like, damn, games, so you're right. PC-centric. When I mean by PC-centric, I mean essentially the foundations of Diablo, another PC-centric game. Fallout, Elder. These are very PC-centric games that are very popular on console. I would even go and say this Cyberpunk is another one, as an example. I mean, if you think about it, at this point, you guys ain't nothing but low-budget PCs because people don't buy it for your exclusivity. And time again, the results show this.
All the RAM chips on the planet are currently being mass bought up by the millions by tech companies, specific AI companies. All these people trying to build these.
And who's also involved in AI? Ding, 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 ding. Good answer, Carl. Microsoft.
Massive server farms and supercomputers. They're trying to make like an AI god or whatever like that. Because of it, literally, these companies, people trying to make Steam machines, even people trying to make anything like a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox, they're having to compete and basically bid against these trillion-dollar AI companies to buy these chips, which is causing...
Microsoft already won. They already won. They put in PlayStation in a chokehold. You guys can keep bragging about how many consoles sold. At the end of the day, we all see, the real gamers, we all see the writing on the wall. And there's nothing PlayStation could do, because you guys want to focus on the console sales, but you don't want to focus on the software. You don't want to focus on what people are playing. You just want to focus, oh, well, our console sold the most, therefore we won. That's not how gaming works. That's not how it works, because at the end of the day, it's got to reflect the rest of the money that's being made within the industry. Like, for example, if you sat there and told people, well, Fortnite, nobody bought the game because the game was free, therefore Fortnite made no money, then people would be like, what are you talking about? Fortnite made more money distributing a free game than if they sold you one. That's terrible logic. Well, Spider-Man outsold Fortnite, but Fortnite is still making more money than it. What are you guys talking about? See, this is what I'm saying. You guys want to act like you want to have these intelligent conversations in regards to video gaming, but yet, if I said that to you, when you guys were, Astro's Playroom outsold Fortnite. If you want to be technical, because you don't have to buy the Battle Royale mode. But in regards to what making the most money, we all know it's the free-to-play gaming market. So just because something was free doesn't mean that they're not making more money. Gamester, what another W.
A massive shortage. Already, even in the short term, right now, RAM, just buying RAM right now, can be more expensive than the cost of a PlayStation 5 in its entirety. So people are thinking, okay, even if this is fairly priced though, is that really the exact power of a Steam machine? This right here is a Steam machine. It's a Steam machine, but it's a desktop. It's bigger, but it's it. It plugs into your PC. It is just a PC Steam machine, right? A lot of people are pointing out, this is basically a Steam machine, but with a full-size desktop components, efficient, betterly designed, betterly programmed. You can make a PC basically run better. And they're essentially saying that this is 70% better performance per dollar, right? And a lot of people are saying this doesn't really make sense. I've been thinking about this. Valve's Steam machine outperforms 70% of PCs. Quote, it contradicts their pricing strategy. If it's priced similar to building a PC yourself, then you automatically price out those people. If they could afford to upgrade, they already would have. It's kind of funny that in the discussion about the power of this, especially for that $700 price tag, I do kind of think about the debate about optimization, right? Part of what makes console games look so good is that they only have to design it once.
You're wrong. Absolutely wrong. No, they don't. They take the PC version of the game and they port it down. Bro, listen. Oh my goodness, bro. What do you think? You know what? Where do you think they make games on? Ding, 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 ding. Good answer, Carl. PCs. They gotta downgrade the game just so they can work on your little lousy $500 Lunchable box. What are you talking about, bro? Can you make a video game on a console, or do you make a video game on a PC? What are you talking about, bro? You guys don't know nothing about video gaming. It's crazy.
About the debate about optimization, right? Part of what makes console games look so good is that they only have to design it once.
Because if that was true, then why do you guys use the Series S as an excuse as to why games skip the Xbox Series X? Oh, that's right, because they have to do 2 different versions of the game. Oh, wow. Who would have known that?
With PC gaming,
they only have to do it once, guys. That's why games run better on the base PS5 than they do on the PS5 Pro. And let's also talk about how Silent Hill 2 Remake runs better on the Series X than it does on your own damn console.
And on the development side is that there are a billion different combinations of it. People have different amounts of RAM and old motherboards or crazy good graphics cards, or people that are trying to play on the most bare bones ancient laptop, right? So when you're making your game, you're trying to make it as efficient and run as good and have the least amount of pop-in, the best load times, right?
And this is where the cloud gaming gets dangerous, because Microsoft is very fully aware of that. So essentially with the servers and what they're trying to pump out, that it's going to come to a point where you don't need powerful hardware. So you know that guy that you said, well, that lousy laptop, well, guess what? You will be getting good visuals and performance out of the cloud streaming without having the box. See, you know what? Y'all see GameStop. Y'all don't see it. I just think that's what it is. Y'all don't understand it. Okay? Y'all don't get it. Just because we haven't fully got to that vision yet doesn't necessarily mean that it's not happening. Like you said, it's not going to be so dependent on the hardware. It's going to be a point where, I'm going to just tell you guys, it's going to be a point where cloud gaming is going to be so good in advance. That's why Microsoft is investing heavily into this, to the point where you don't even need a powerful box. They're like, damn, Gabe, you're right, because I remember playing a Series X game on an Xbox One through the cloud. It's not fully there yet, but it's getting close. Exactly. That right there shows you all the proof in the pudding is right there. But no, they want to sit there and deny it. They want to sit there and deny it. And this is what Microsoft is saying. Play anywhere strategy. You're going to be able to run games like Halo on the Amazon Fire Stick with this cloud streaming stuff that we doing. They're going to look like a Series X. What are you talking about? There ain't no Series X. Well, the game going to look just as good as a Series X running that game through the cloud.
You have to make it for a million different SKUs. You have to try and make it work on anything from a potato to a supercomputer. And because
No, you don't. Not if you use cloud.
You end up having a lot of...
All you need is a screen. See, you guys don't get it, man. Maybe because it hasn't fully realized the vision yet. But this is what Microsoft is trying to say. All you need is a screen. That's why they say play anywhere. Even on a phone, you'll probably be able to play Halo Campaign Evolved on a damn calculator. With the way I'm just trolling. With the cloud streaming that Microsoft's trying to push out there.
Versions of your game on particular PCs that run bad, even if it's well programmed. Whereas when you're playing stuff on PlayStation 5,
there we go.
The games just run good because they're constructed for a singular platform. You just have
really? Is that why Death Stranding 2 is going to PC?
It run good on that one PS5, the base PS5 or the PS5 Pro. You have more time to optimize, to count frames, to make sure it runs as smoothly as possible.
No, because back then it wasn't like that. Back then, the hardware, the reason why it was better back then because of that, because the N64 used cartridges, PlayStation 1 used tries, and Sega Saturn used quads. So if you're developing a game, right? If you're developing a game back then, you would probably want to optimize for the one piece of hardware because everything wasn't so similar to one another. Nowadays, that's not really that much of a problem. You see what I'm saying? All they really do is downscale, downgrade the game, and get the game to work on a lower end piece of hardware. That's what's going on. So you guys can't compare those days in comparison to what we have now because the hardware back then was way more uniquely made, right? I don't even think that's even a word, uniquely made, but I'm going to use it for this video, than what we got now. Xbox and PlayStation utilize the same exact hardware.
You could spend that dev time, which would have been years getting it working on every single variation of PC. You can just do it once. That refining, I do think, makes stuff look extra good. Like, I saw this right here. Here's 4 reasons to get a PS5 in 2026.
Look at that. 4 reasons to get a PS5. Grand Theft Auto 6. Yo, look at this Marvel Wolverine. Look at that Marvel Toucan. That game's coming to Xbox as well. Soros, that game looking sorry. Bro, 4 reasons to get a PS5.
And let's face it, Soros trailers look fantastic. Token Fighting Souls, I've been playing the beta of that. That game is fantastic and looks fantastic. Wolverine looks fantastic. These are PS5 games, and they look better than...
What do you mean PS5 games? What are you talking about? Grand Theft Auto 6 is not just a PS5 game. You see what I'm saying? They really think Grand Theft Auto 6 is an exclusive. And that's what I find so funny about these ponies. They think that game's an exclusive to them. It's pathetic.
And some $1,000 PCs I've seen. And I think it's just interesting that in a lot of ways, I do kind of worry, what happens if this comes out and it looks overpriced? Even if it's technically not, what if it comes out and it looks overpriced? I'm in a spot where I do truly believe what's going to win this next console war or this console PC war is the person that comes out with the cheapest console, the cheapest place to play. Lately, I've been playing a bunch of my hack.
And the cheapest place to play would be boxes like the Xbox as well as the Steam machine, not the PlayStation. PlayStation, they're going to be losing a lot of money, bro. And I'm going to explain why, because y'all not peeping it. I don't think Microsoft's going to subsidize their hardware. I think their console's going to be $1,000 and up. I mean, they might do something of a Series S equivalent. Who knows that? But I do think what Microsoft is trying to do is they're trying to out-console Sony by making their box more of a PC. And they do have the console gaming recognition. People might say it might not be more than Sony, but it might be enough to sway the audience. The only thing that would be an issue for Microsoft from that point forward would be the price. But that means that Sony would be taking losses on hardware heavily. Because PlayStation, because what I'm saying, putting a PlayStation 6 and a new Xbox side to side, the Xbox just looks better. Let's keep it a buck. No console war. Let's just keep it a buck. You get Steam, good old games. You get these launchers, free online. And let's say if PlayStation 6 does that. Restrictive games. Games go to Steam 1 year from another, depending. Live service still go to Xbox. Xbox gamers still get access to your games through Steam. I mean, PlayStation is not really looking good like you guys think, man. And this is what I keep telling you. Those whole 84 million soldiers you got on the battlefield, well, guess what? They're not good warriors, okay? They're not. Your games is dying in front of you. Astrobot is dying. All those games are just laid out on the battlefield, okay? All right? Just like the rest of your exclusive games that y'all don't buy. Y'all not looking at the bigger picture. You just say, oh, well, we got console sales and that's it. You don't see Nintendo gamers do that. Nintendo gamers say, yeah, we sell Switch too, but our games also sell the best. You do hear that. You do hear that. You don't hear Nintendo gamers say, we win in the console. Well, it's not even a console. We winning Nintendo Switch too because the system, well, they are using that argument, but their games are also selling the best on it as well. So they're not just using the fact that the Switch 2 is selling well. They're also saying, well, it sold well, and they're also buying it for our games. So should I say, my exclusives? Okay? You guys are threatened by this idea and by this concept of video gaming going forward. And Microsoft is going to hit the ground running, especially with 30 million or not. That is enough. That is definitely enough to shift the tide. It was enough during the Xbox original to 360, and that 30 million is enough to shift the rift between PlayStation 5 and what Sony does with their PlayStation 6. Because all it took was 30 million original Xbox owners to completely subside PlayStation's vision with the PlayStation 3. So don't fall back on 30 million. Oh, yeah. Go ahead. Y'all were bragging during PS2, and look what happened. You was crying during the era of the Xbox 360. Same thing could also happen now, and I think that's what Microsoft is planning on doing, having freedom, PC options. That's something that Microsoft has always done. Microsoft's vision is to have Windows on everything, and with their mindset, they can definitely accomplish that. That's what y'all not getting. You guys want to sit there and act because I bought a box with my logo on it. That's the definition of winning a war. That is not winning. That is coping. Because if it would be different if your audience was buying your games, but they're not. They're playing the same games. They play on PC and Xbox. Microsoft knows this. That's why they say free online with the new Xbox. Good old games. Steam. Let them just pay. We'll probably lower Game Pass Ultimate. They'll probably raise it up too. Probably 25, something like that. To subsidize that, right? And then you'll be paying for all access to games while you'll be paying full price on Play. That's just that don't look good. You know what I'm saying? All PlayStation could do to make themselves look better than Xbox at this point is what the new next gen is to, I would say, lower the price. There would have to be a $200 price differential. Because, I mean, if PlayStation is pricing their 6 with the same price that the new Xbox is, PlayStation is dead. PlayStation is dead, bro. Y'all like, what game? PlayStation is dead. If PlayStation prices their console the same price as the new Xbox, PlayStation is dead. Nobody's going to want it because people buy the system for the Call of Duties. And if Microsoft has the same equally priced console, this is where Sony's like, damn, we're going to have to subsidize. We got to subsidize way more now because we got to make our console lower than the new Xbox. We got to. And then we got to sell it off the backbones of a PlayStation Plus while Xbox is going to have free online. I don't know, man. Like I said, this is very tough for PlayStation. That's all I'm telling you.
3DS. I'm going back and playing like Pokemon, Resident Evil, and stuff on my 3DS all the time, right? And I've been thinking about the fact that it's late, and it'd be cool to buy, last year's Game of the Year for like 80% off, and then play it a year later and love it, right?
They won't do that.
I just feel like at this
games are gonna go up, and then when the games go up to $100, that's when that Game Pass is taking over. You know what I'm saying? And I do think there's some validity to those rumors of gaming potentially going up to 100. This is not good for Sony because the more expensive gaming becomes, the less and less people are going to want PlayStation because you got to look at the market, buddy. You got to look at what people are playing. People playing the Call of Duty, Microsoft owns. People playing these games, Microsoft owns these games. So if PlayStation comes out and say, well, we're charging $200 to play Call of Duty, the same game you could play for free, well, not free, but the same game I could pay $20 on Game Pass on the new Xbox PC, who in their right mind would pick up a PlayStation? Who would they? And have access to Steam, and have access to good old games, and have access to essentially a PC? Who in their right mind would buy a PlayStation? To be honest with you, the Xbox PC is really for you ponies. That's who it's for. It's not for us, it's for you. Oh my goodness. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, man, they don't want to see it. Like I said, PlayStation 5 to me, well, I can't even compare it to the PS2 because it's definitely not no PS2 because y'all definitely ain't got no games like that era. But PS5 to me, we'll see. But I have a high projection that PlayStation 6 will not do good if it's priced the same as the new Xbox. The only reason I can see it doing good initially is if it's lower than $200, maybe $100. It got to be lower than the new Xbox. PlayStation cannot price their new product. That's why we keep hearing about them saying, well, PlayStation going to do a lower end hardware box in comparison because they know if you put out, I'm telling you, man, you got to look at it like, I don't care if you're the biggest PlayStation fan alive. Okay, you have to take this into consideration. Nobody cares. Not even your own audience. We know this. This is already established. Now you have to look at it. $1,000 PS6, $1,000 Xbox. Which is more appealing to you guys? Free online, $20 Game Pass Ultimate, get access to games on PlayStation 6. Well, we wait a year for Xbox games. We get remakes. What looks better? They can emulate half our PlayStation 1 and 2 catalog as well as everything else. We have a restrictive console in comparison. And they got free online. Which looks like the better option? PlayStation fanboy or not, the Xbox PC is a better option. And that is why you're afraid of, and that's why you guys are threatened by this Steam machine. I'm going to welcome the Steam machine because I'm not a fanboy like you ponies that don't want to see the writing on the wall. I welcome it. You guys are afraid of the concept of these plat boxes. And if more devices keep coming out like this and they say, oh, well, we have Steam on this, but this one's priced at $299. We'll subsidize ours. Valve don't have. That's why Microsoft, they're applauding. Yeah, keep doing it. Keep doing this. Because they're going to have their games on everything anyway. Keep doing it. Yeah, the more boxes we get like this, and guess what? Once the PC console hybrid boxes start doing this little competitive console war, oh, Valve, that's $700. We'll price us at $300. We're Lenovo's. We're Mr. Lenovis. Oh, okay. Same power and everything. $300 for that, and they got access to Steam. We don't need no console war with the PC boxes, because at that point, PlayStation is done. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed this video. Like I said, take care. Peace out.